Going inside Memorial Sports, this is the Panther Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back in. This is the High School Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score. I'm Randy Rosetta. We've already knocked out Estacado here. We're going to talk some Memorial volleyball here in a second. I do want to run through the football schedule for this week. Since it's a Monday, I try to get that out of the way to make sure we have that out there. Thursday night, the game at Lowry Field is Amarillo High at Coronado. That is District 2 5A Division I game. Mustangs are still hunting for that first win. They've played better the last couple of weeks. They just need to knock the door down. They've got to take on the Sandies, who are tied for second, or maybe in second place alone, behind Tascosa at Abilene High, who I think play this week in that district. That's on 96.9 The Bull. Friday night, a lot of games not around this area, a lot of games out and about. In District 2 6A, Friendship is on the road at Odessa High. That's on Double T 97.3 FM. Tigers lost a heartbreaker the other night to Midland Legacy at home, 45-42. Let's see, the game at Lowry that night is Lubbock High is at home against Caprock. Lubbock High had a rough road trip to Abilene last week, lost 73-0. Probably not going to say that score a whole bunch more just to not hurt any feelings there. That is 7 p.m. at Lowry Field. That's down the radio dial with our bro on the call. Lubbock Cooper is on the road at Wichita Falls Memorial, 7 p.m. I think I want to go back. Friendship's 7:30 kickoff. Their district kicks off late. Lubbock Cooper's at Wichita Falls Memorial, 7 p.m. Friday. That's right here on 100.7 The Score. Pirates are kind of back to the wall. They got to win their last two games and may need some help to get back to the playoffs for, I think, the 18th year in a row. District 2 4A Division 2, which these girls are in volleyball. I think or is it called 5 4A in your?
5 4A.
Yes, it's a little bit different. Estacado's on the road at Borger. We just talked to some guys from the Matadors. That's at 7 p.m. Friday. That's down the radio dial as well with Nick Long on the call. Levelland's at Perryton. Well, it's two long road trips for those two teams. That's at 7 p.m. Friday. In Taps, Trinity Christian goes on the road to Grapevine Faith for a 7 p.m. kickoff. Covenant Christian comes to Lubbock Christian. That's a 6 p.m. kickoff at Bass Rider Capitol Field. That's the HubCpreps.com game of the week. Eagles had a bye last week, so they're going to be chomping at the bit to get out there. And then both six-man Taps teams are in action this week as well. Christ the King coming off of a big win against Kingdom Prep last week, the first time they'd ever beaten the Warriors. They're at home at 4 p.m. Kingdom Prep's on the road at Midland Holy Cross at 7 p.m. But there's a whole lot of volleyball going on as well. And these girls and this coach next to me have had a really good season. Whitney, I'm going to let you introduce yourself real quick here and introduce the girls, and then we'll get them to talk in a minute here so people can hear them by voice.
All right. I'm Whitney Gibson. I'm the head volleyball coach at Memorial.
I'm Bradley Wicks.
And I'm Mackenzie Ivy.
And they're not nervous at all, I promise. We had this discussion already. Whitney, when I was thinking about what I wanted to talk to you guys about, you guys have had an incredible first season.
It's been fun.
I'm not sure people outside of Memorial realize that because you happen to be in the same district with the number one ranked team in the state.
Yep, love that.
And I loved what you said after you played Liberty the last time about how you couldn't stop smiling because your girls got that chance to see what the number one ranked team is because you want to be there pretty quick. And the way you've played this year, there's no reason to think you're not headed down that same exact path.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a really fun season. It's been a very different season than what I'm used to. You know, my first season as a head coach, I had, I think, 7 seniors, and now I have 0. And it's come with a lot of challenges, you know, reminding myself their age at the same time, and just that they're new to this. They're new to varsity. They're new to all this different stress, but the fun of it as well. And I think we're getting to see that more as we get closer to playoffs. But it really has been a fun season, and I meant it. Like if you ever watch me coach, even when I'm having fun, I'm very serious. My face is always very serious. And I think I truly did smile like our entire Liberty game because I mean we came out first set and we were 4-0 immediately, and I was like, oh my gosh, we're doing this. Like these girls came to play, and you know, it didn't swing our way, but they competed so well, and they're fun to watch. And even my mom sent me a text after our game on Friday, And it was a little screenshot of the live stream of all of us smiling. And she was like, your girls are so fun to watch because they have fun. Like, I've really enjoyed that this year. And so it's been really cool.
When you were on a few weeks ago, we talked about how much progress your girls had made. Like the first couple of matches, when the first time I saw y'all play, like ball would land and there'd be people looking at each other like, who's supposed to get that? Communication's been important, but just playing, to me, it's always, I watched this a few years ago with Liberty, but it's like with every team, you get into district and you get into that routine, you get to practice for a couple of days. And I know coaches like that. When you guys got into district, Mackenzie, did you notice you started to get a little bit better because of the practice a couple times a week, then you play, then you come back and you evaluate what you did and you practice and you play? Did you notice your team getting better?
Yes, I did notice my team getting better. Like in practice, we like always studied the plays that we need to do. And like in practice, we would work on them constantly. And so like Coach said, like in practice, like we practice how we play. And so we create like habits. So in the game is whenever our habits come out. And so we just constantly practice them. So then we have good habits in the game.
Bradley, how different was it when Coach started, you had to start game planning a little bit more because y'all were 8th and 9th graders last year, right? Are you both freshmen last year? 9th graders? Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's different. It's different. But I'm going to guess that wherever you were, you weren't breaking down video before matches.
No, I think for us it like really helped. It like really helps because we see like what we messed up on and like we can see what we need to fix and how we fixed it. And then she also tells us like you learn from your mistakes and like that's the best way like we fix our mistakes is like learning from them.
Something Coach, she kind of told on you guys not long ago. She said that it took a while for you guys to stop watching just yourself and to kind of step back and watch what everybody else is doing to understand how everything works together. It's just kind of a process when you're that young and going through stuff. Coming up on our first break, we're going to talk more Memorial Volleyball when we come back in the Panther Zone on 100.7 The Score.
This is the Panther Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back into the Panther Fan Zone. We are talking Memorial Volleyball first-year program that is, see if I get this right, 24-8, 8-2 in District 5 4A?
Yes.
What does that mean for you guys in terms of what's coming down the road?
Well, it's playoff season. We've officially clinched playoffs, and I think if I've done my stats right, we are officially going to finish in second place. Now we have to, hang on and make this a strong week, and we actually talked about that this morning, finishing strong regardless. But as of right now, it looks like we're going to be playing Graham next Thursday. So.
And I know this still confuses me because it's new. There's big school, small school?
Yes.
And you'll be big school or small school?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
We will be big school, yep. So we're brand new, but we're the biggest
yes,
in the district.
And we were just talking about that, and I think we shocked your girls a little bit that next year you'll be in a completely new district most likely. So
right.
we'll save that for later. So first of all, let's go back and talk what Coach just said. Mackenzie, you guys are in the playoffs. That's pretty cool for a team that's brand new first year. When I don't know if Coach sat you down and talked to you guys about it, but knowing that you're in the playoffs, how motivated, how fired up are you about that?
I'm really excited. I feel like our whole team is excited. Also, we're like a little nervous, but like more excited to play in playoffs, and like also like for our age and like just like that a bunch of people have been like talking like about us and like how good we are. It like motivates us to go out big and play like really good. And so I feel like our whole team is like really excited and like wanting to see how far we'll go, and like we're like expected to be a good team, so we want to like prove it,
So Bradley, I know a little bit about your background. I know your cousin is Kassler, and he's at the other newer school in town, but he was on a baseball team that did a little bit like you guys, got to the playoffs, and then they just kept playing and kept playing. Were you following and were you paying attention when he was doing that a few years ago?
Yes, I actually went to most of their games whenever they played when I could, and it was really exciting to like see that like a small school like just full of sophomores can get that far, and like I feel like now it's like, oh, like I can do that, like my team can do that. Like now I'm just excited to like show people like that Memorial can do that, not just Liberty.
And one of their coaches, I remember saying that it's new for you guys because the coach has been around before. She's taken teams to the playoffs. She's played on playoff teams. It's a little bit different when you're coming from middle school where your season just stops and you can start focusing on something different. Now you want that finish line to keep moving a little bit further and further away, so you get to keep practicing. Are you excited to keep practicing with Coach?
Yeah, I'm very excited. I love having her as my coach. She just helps me a lot, and it's like she doesn't like play like just a coach role in my like life. She plays like more like a parent or like a friend, like, and it just like is nice to have that, and it's different and refreshing.
Mackenzie, so the first time I'll pull the curtain back here a little bit. The first time I ever talked to Mackenzie, I asked a bad question, and her answer was a little bit. How would you describe it, Whitney?
Too honest, probably.
That's a good way to say it. So those are all things that you learn as you're doing this. What are some other things you've learned this first season being a varsity player, just as a young varsity player?
I've learned that like we just need to like play and have fun and not get in our head about it, and like our age does not matter, like you said at the beginning. Like we're a really good team. We can play to their level, and we're not like a bad team, like, and we're expected to play really good. And so whenever we just play and have fun, it plays like a huge role in like winning games.
Whitney, one thing that you're going through that I'll reference Liberty again is you're coaching these girls. You've got to bring them along to this level. Whatever happens the rest of the season, you get to keep coaching them for 2 more years, and that's different than, except for the Liberty folks who've done it.
Right.
How have you kind of approached this season knowing that this is just like chapter 1?
Oh gosh. I think I've tried to really slow down this season and appreciate it, because, you know, you have some kids that you are going to have, even as a coach that goes into a program that's already been started, that you're going to have for several years, you know, those sophomores, juniors on varsity that you get to build that with. And, you know, in Loveland, those were kind of the kids I ended up building the closest relationship with, is the ones I had the longest. And so I've just reflected a lot more this year, and just, I think, really appreciated the little things, because it's like, I'm going to look back, these next 2 years are going to fly by, and they're going to be seniors, and I'm going to look back on these days when they were babies and they were new to all this, and it's going to be fun to look at that and appreciate it. And so I think that's been the biggest take back for me this year, is just I get to have them for 2 more years. And so like the relationships we're already building now, you know, some of them are already like my children, and I'm excited to get to have that for two more years, because I'm a big believer in relationship is the key to being successful, whether that's the classroom or the gym. And so I just think it's going to make the next couple years even better.
Yep, you don't have to worry about senior day for 2 more years.
Thank goodness, that's stressful.
We've got one more segment left in the Panther Fan Zone. We'll be back after this break on 100.7 The Score.
Going inside Memorial Sports, this is the Panther Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back in. We have one more segment of the Panther Fan Zone to go. We've been talking about Memorial Volleyball, and Whitney mentioned by district against Graham.
Yes, sir. That's who it looks like. We're gonna solidify things after tomorrow night's games, but I think both of us are pretty set in where we're at in district, so should be Graham next Thursday.
And that's, first of all, it's cool that you're in the playoffs at all as a first-year program.
Yeah.
This, being in 4A, now in 5A, is going to be a little bit different animal that we won't talk about yet. But that first-round match is tough.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's right off the bat. You don't get to ease into anything. So your girls, and they're ready because of who you've played, especially Liberty in district, but you're pre-district. You played some teams that helped get you ready as well.
I think so. This is kind of a redemption match for me, because Graham was my matchup last year while I was at Loveland first round. And so, you know, it's not a surprise. I know this team. I know they're well coached. I know they're going to be very good. And so I'm excited to match up with them again. I think we have great odds this year, and I'm excited. But yeah, I think that's one thing I really focus on when I'm scheduling us is, you know, you want to get wins on the card, obviously. So you want some teams in there that you hope you can beat, but at the same time, you've got to look ahead to this stuff. And so it's important to have those more difficult games even before district, because you want to be prepared for postseason here.
Mackenzie, that's my cranky computer. I don't know why it's making that noise.
What is that?
It makes a weird noise. I told the guys that were here, and it's like an old man that's just in a bad mood.
Creaking.
So I've learned to drown it out. I hope it's not being picked up on the thing there.
I don't think it is. It's not that loud.
For both you girls, playoffs are supposed to be stressful. There's a lot of, but because you're young, Mackenzie, is it like, as you get ready for it, is it pretty stress-free? Or I know you want to win. First time I met Bradley, I figured out pretty quick how competitive she was. I know you want to win, but can you kind of go in a little stress-free knowing that you get to come back and do this for a couple years?
I would say like it's like half and half. Like I am stressed about like playing them because I want to win. Like since it's like our first year as like sophomores and freshmen, since it's like one of like the youngest classes in high school, and it'd be really cool to like win our first game of playoffs. But also like I know that we still have like other years, but I feel like it'll just make us better and want to push even harder because next year if we do end up making it to playoffs and then wanting to like, since we won our last game, then it would like push us to try to like go even farther. And so there is some stress there and not stress, so
it's much less stressful than being on radio.
Wait, what'd you say?
It's much less stressful than being on radio.
Well, I mean, this is very stressful.
Yeah, I think they definitely are both more comfortable on the court.
Yes.
So Bradley, was I right about how competitive you are?
Yes, you're very right. I don't like losing. I get in my head a lot, but it's just because like I'm very competitive and I really want that gold ball. So I want to be the first sport to have it out of like.
Me too.
Oh yeah.
To be fair, your tennis team set the bar high for you.
Unfortunately, we will not be the first ones to bring home some hardware, which is, I mean, not unfortunately, because that's great. We want other programs to be super successful. So
both you guys are actually, as a school, are kind of
everyone's doing really well right now. It's been fun to watch just so many younger athletes that are competing and doing really well.
I'm going to throw your aunt under the bus like I did Mackenzie here a minute ago. When I mentioned to her that I'd talked to you, she was like, "Oh yeah, she's really fiery. She really likes to play volleyball and she likes to win." She told me that before I realized that talking to you.
Who said this?
Your aunt, Catherine's mom.
Courtney. Yes. Yeah. I'm just competitive in everything I do, and like when we play games at my house, it's the same way on the court, and I just want to win.
Do you always win board games at home?
No, I don't. And then it ends bad, but it's fine.
Because my wife and daughters get really mad because I never lose.
Yeah, that's how my dad is.
And I talk a little trash, so.
Yeah.
Real quick, Whitney, I'm going to give you the last word here. We've talked about how these girls have gotten better. From a coach's perspective, why have they gotten better since that, I think I saw you the second night you played. Why have they just steadily improved to where they are 24-8 or whatever I said?
I think they want to prove a point. I think hopefully they go into each practice and each game knowing, kind of like Bradley said, that I'm not here just to be their coach. I want to be a role model for them, and I want to push them to be better outside of the court and outside of volleyball. And I think that plays into it because these are girls that are really driven in every aspect. I mean, when it comes to volleyball and school, you should hear them stress about their grades, and so they're just naturally a very driven group. And so I think that's really pushed them to want to be better every single day. Is they're naturally driven, but also, we've all mentioned it several times, and next year we won't talk about it at all, but they're young and they're, the new kids on the block, and that comes with having a huge target on your back. I mean, when Liberty moved in, everybody wanted to beat them because we knew they were going to be good. And I think that came with us too, is people knew we were going to be good. And, I think the girls want to show people like, you're right, we are good and we're going to do good things. And so I think that's been the biggest driving force, is they want to be able to prove to people that we can do this and we're capable.
And they have shown that. They're 24-8. They're 8-2 in District 5-4A, and they're headed to the playoffs in year one. That wraps us up on the Panther Fan Zone. We'll be back after this break in the Patriot Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.